And we say, what's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media with MSU number one fan, talking up some Michigan State and talking college football really in general. Mostly just, honestly, he wanted to come on here, talk a little bit about Colorado in the transfer portal. Speaking of Colorado, it's downloading, but I did record a preview video for Colorado this afternoon. Colorado fans, I apologize in advance for what you're probably going to hear within the next week or so listening to that video. So, MSU number one fan, how you doing, buddy? You're muted, by the way. Oh, there we go.
Doing good.
Good, man. So, what's on your mind tonight as far as Michigan State and the state of college football as we enter 2024 and we get ready for a new era? I know we got new teams and new conferences, and or the conferences aren't new, but we got a little more realignment. The portal's kicking up, and there's been some drama out of Colorado and everything. Just talk to me about like wherever you want to start.
Yeah, so we just wrapped up spring football last Saturday, had our showcase. That was just after the Illinois spring game, whatever you want to call it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if Nick Marsh is your number 3 or number 4 receiver starting against FAU.
Okay.
We have a couple guys out due to injury or just rehabbing, letting them heal up. So we got to see the majority of the squad, but not everybody.
Right. That's kind of what happened with Alabama too. I mean, we had a couple guys out for a day, but for the most part, everyone was healthy. But they kind of sat some guys on the bench. They rotated, but mostly you had the first string guys out there.
We know who our starting quarterback is. I wouldn't be surprised if running backs by committee, but Nate Carter's probably your number 1.
Right.
I've seen a lot of our guys have entered the portal. Emmy Pleasance entered. Antonio Gates actually entered but came back. Derek
He
Harmon,
came back?
yeah.
Yeah.
Derek Harmon transferred. I don't know if he landed anywhere yet. What does the transfer portal
Yeah,
look like?
so yeah, let me get it pulled up here. I am on 247. I want to look at and we'll look specifically at Michigan State because I have seen a little bit of news. They don't report like for everything. Like every single transfer. I think I've seen some guys enter and then some guys come in for you guys. And of course, you guys got a new coach too,
Yeah.
Jonathan Smith from Oregon State. How you
Mm.
feeling about him?
I think he's doing really good. We had his offensive coordinator. We have a brand new defensive coordinator, which God knows how bad our defense was the last couple of years. And Joe Rossi, the Minnesota DC.
Yeah. Let's see. 247 doesn't wanna work for me at the moment. Let me see if we can, uh 'cause I wanna sort it and go straight to Michigan State. There we go. Big Ten. Let's see what you guys have been doing. So you got some Oregon State guys leaving to follow Jonathan Smith. You got, Jack Velling is a tight end, and then Aiden Chills is the quarterback. Of course, I'm sure he sat behind DJ Uiagalelei.
They have a thing at Oregon State where DJ played the first two and Aiden got in on the third as a freshman.
Mhm.
He can use his legs, but I wouldn't be surprised if Aiden's your starting quarterback at Oregon State. They let him get some experience as a freshman. Um, Zach
Yeah, and
Belling,
you guys have needed a quarterback for the past year or so with, Peyton Thorne going to Auburn, of course. Talk to me about what you saw last year with him being gone.
I basically Noah Kim was not bad. It was basically slow start, slow start, slow start. You do not.
Yeah.
I mean, the Iowa game, Iowa's a tough place to play.
Yeah, Kinnick's tough.
I mean, you can just ask Ohio State how that went.
Mhm.
So it's not even Michigan State. Even the big boys in the country have problems there.
Yeah,
And Zach Belling has led all tight ends in the nation with 8 touchdown catches.
yeah. Let's see, Jordan Turner from Wisconsin, Kevin Wigton goes to Illinois. You got a guy from Middle Tennessee. They got some good guys, especially on the defense, and you got Quindarius Dunnigan. Um, Tanner Miller comes over from Oregon State. I'm assuming I don't think these guys are leaving Oregon State by accident. I mean, these guys are, like, straight up following Jonathan Smith to
Yeah,
East Lansing, and rightfully so. He's a great recruiter. He's a
yeah,
great head coach, and he built up a family-like atmosphere at Oregon State, I'm sure, and, these guys are following him.
yeah,
Um,
and you're not gonna know what's gonna happen with their conferences.
yeah,
Will they be forced to be independent? So I can't blame those kids for leaving.
yeah.
And you're in a bigger stadium too, with more fans. And Jonathan Smith said Tom Izzo's been pretty helpful with him with the transition. And Tom Izzo's
Oh, the
known for,
basketball coach?
yeah,
Yeah, Izzo's great,
he's known for
and,
helping. He's built a family atmosphere, so it's like you're new, like
yeah. Is there a favorite transfer that you've gotten that sticks out?
as of right now, I would have to wait and see how they play in the actual games.
Right.
But as of right now, I'm about to say there is Dunnigan and the dude from Georgia Tech.
Daquan Dose?
Yeah,
Mm. And then who was the other guy you just said too, before the Georgia Tech guy?
the one from this Naquan Jones from Mid Tennessee. Laquan Dow's.
Jones. I probably passed him. You probably misheard the name here. Oh, Daquan Dowse from
Laquan
Georgia Tech.
Dow's. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's a
Georgia
couple
Tech has some dudes out there.
and there might be another guy we're possibly getting from that program as well.
Mhm. And a lot of these guys are already enrolled, so you've probably already seen them in spring practice or I'm sure the coaches have, and, um, of course, they, worked out in the spring. Have you heard anything on the quarterback situation?
It's Aiden Childs, day one starter against
Like,
FAU.
automatic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I would be surprised if Jonathan Smith held him out against Prairie View just because
Yeah.
you're coming off the road trip from Maryland. You basically have a bye week. Then you're playing on the road at Boston. So do you want your starting quarterback possibly getting hurt in an FCS game?
Right.
I think he should hold him out.
You're probably right about that. Um, if guys are gonna risk injury, you wanna take care of that before it gets out of hand.
I wouldn't be surprised if the quarterback from North Dakota State got reps in that game a lot. Only the two others.
So, when you look at the schedule, I could go ahead and pull that up. So,
Yeah.
you the thing about Michigan State's schedule is obviously a couple new faces on the football schedule. You got new teams in the conference in terms of Oregon and Washington, and you're gonna have the California schools and UCLA, USC. When you look at this schedule, you got Florida Atlantic to open things up. That's not a sleeper team, but it's still one of those games that you probably should win. Uh, I look at Michigan State schedule. I look at Maryland right there. I look at Prairie View. You could make a case for Maryland, but like what's that one game that sticks out that you say we have to figure out the quarterback situation by this game?
I'm looking at October 5th.
Oregon? Are you skipping Ohio State there?
Ohio State's October 5th, right?
No, September 28th. You got Oregon October 5th.
Oh, okay.
So the Ohio State game then?
Yeah, because the
Okay.
next you're taking a long trip. A little
Yeah.
bit of a civil blood for Ducks fans.
Mhm.
And Jonathan Smith should know what to expect from Oregon from playing against them in the former Pac-12.
Yeah.
And I would be surprised if we lost on the road at Illinois.
Illinois is a tough team. They can put some guys in the NFL, especially from defense. They've put in that corner, Devon Witherspoon. They picked up. Then they just have a tackle drafted somewhere on day two. So like Illinois is going to be tough for you,
Yeah,
and you get them on the road. Um, I be careful. I don't know about Indiana, but I'm always careful with Iowa and Michigan. Of course, your
yeah,
rivals.
yeah.
Uh, you mentioned Illinois. Purdue's tough. Rutgers has gotten better over the years,
The good news
making bowl
is
games nowadays. Yeah.
the good news is though Purdue and Rutgers are both at home. Indiana at home. Iowa home. Ohio State home.
Well, Illinois is actually on the road.
Yeah,
Ohio State at home. I was at home. You got your little brother, Michigan.
Yeah,
I
as
did
I
that
call it.
just for you, buddy. You
Yeah.
get them on the road.
I would love
Yeah.
to see that game be played in Detroit.
Oh, just like a neutral site in state.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. They should do I'm not gonna say do that to all rivalries because I like the Iron Bowl as it is. I like the
yeah.
Palmetto Bowl and all that. But a
Like,
Michigan State game that you don't even play on rivalry weekend, so what does it matter where you play it? To see that at Ford Field, that yeah, that would be fun.
honestly, then you also have the quote unquote tunnel incidents in the last couple of times.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
Penn State had trouble there. So if I remember right,
That's another thing I wanted to go ahead.
they had a brawl with Ohio State too in the tunnel. Was that in
Yeah.
2013?
Yeah, about 10, 11 years ago. That's another thing I wanted to bring up too was, like, so how do you feel about Penn State not being on the schedule? Because that used to always be on rivalry weekend, then they started moving it around, and now you don't even play them, and I remember with my grandparents being Penn State fans, they would always say that Michigan State's one of the bigger teams to try to take care of on the schedule. How do you feel about Penn State not being played?
We really, if I, who are they playing on rivalry weekend?
Penn State?
Yeah,
I would have to look, but you guys get Rutgers instead.
because if they're playing Maryland, Rutgers should play Maryland, Penn State should play Michigan State. It's been like that for how long now? So why change it? But the
Mhm.
Apple Cup is not being played on rivalry weekend. Why is that game week 2? Same thing with the Civil War. Why are they
Yeah.
week 2? I, I
I
would
don't
love
know.
to. I'd like to
I
see.
really don't know. I mean, the Big Ten here's the thing, I blame all of this on Kevin Warren and the
Yep,
Big Ten. Um, I I would say this, man, like, you just don't mess with tradition or rivalries that are big time, in the conference, and I say that because, like, it's tradition. You just don't mess with that in college football. So, like, they
no,
took away some of those games. I mean, I don't think Penn State's playing any of the Michigan team, either of them. I don't I'm looking at their schedule right now. You know what they got in place? They play UCLA, USC, and Washington. They do not play Michigan or Michigan State, and I'm also trying to see who else they don't play. It looks like they don't play, like, Indiana or whoever else from the East. So, that's I mean,
it's not
I'm
really like,
excited, like, you're excited for those new teams, but, like,
like and Ohio State's not
why do
playing
you have
Penn
to
State.
suffer. Huh?
I'm sorry, you should play Ohio
What's
State.
that?
If you're Penn State, you want that Ohio State game on your calendar.
Oh, it is. I was saying they don't play the
Uh,
teams they're not
yeah,
playing are Michigan State, and it looks like Indiana if you wanna talk Big Ten East, but they do play Ohio State.
because if I'm Penn State, that's one of the main games I would want to keep.
Mhm.
I feel like if the game was played at Ford Field, you'd spray paint the logo, Paul Bunyan trophy, one side that whatever color they are,
Yeah.
and the other side that Spartan logo on. Put one side Michigan State, the other side Clowns.
Yeah.
Or you could put Steelers on it,
So
you know.
so when you look at this schedule too, like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll clip this later, but, talking about this schedule, I think it's favorable in ways. I think you got Michigan out there, could be a loss. I think Purdue could be a trap, and Iowa. I think the bigger teams kinda get in the way,
Yeah.
but I see no reason you guys can't go, like, 7-5. Is that reasonable for what you guys should hit this year
You know,
in
I'm looking at
Jonathan Smith's first season?
possibly 9-3, 8-4,
That high?
9-3.
Wow. Is that what you want, or is that what you think could actually happen?
It's possible because we don't
Okay.
know how Purdue's gonna be at the end of the year. You don't know if what's his name at Indiana can get that going. You never know when you get from
Right.
Iowa. God only knows if Michigan will have a quarterback or if they're suspended for sign stealing again. A lot of those,
Well, the losses I see are gonna be Ohio State and Oregon,
yep, clearly.
Michigan. I I have a feeling Purdue could get you. That's 4, maybe Iowa, and you could handle the Rutgers, the Illinois, the Boston College, the Prairie Views, those teams.
I
You'll
wouldn't be,
definitely now Florida Atlantic at the start of the season, that they're a good program. They're a really
yeah,
good team, but I think Michigan State's good enough they could win that at home.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's like a first half battle or a little longer into the second, then we just pull away late.
Right.
And even remember
Yeah.
D'Antonio that gave us dogfight, so I'm not surprised by that. I wouldn't call Michigan a definite loss just because it's a new coach coming in, new team, new coaches on both sides of the ball, actually,
Yeah.
new quarterbacks. And for me, how do you replace that much talent from that one team in a single season?
You make good points. I mean, because and that's something we should talk about because, like, the narrative that a team just won a championship, so they're gonna be good and they're gonna beat up on those smaller teams or whatever. What happened in 2020 with I know it was COVID year, but what happened to LSU that season? Did they really do anything after they won with Joe Burrow? I don't think they did.
I mean, they,
And I
I mean,
also
yeah,
I'm trying to think of what other teams are out there. What about 2010 or 2013? Like, well, I guess Florida State made the CFP after they won with Jameis Winston, so I won't go that far.
but
But 2010 Auburn had talent, and then everyone like Cam Newton and Uzuma and everyone went to the NFL. I said Uzuma. I think I'm thinking back to 2013 with him, but either way, like, Auburn had these dudes, and then in 2011, I don't even think they made a bowl game.
when you look at what has happened in the past as well, coaching plays a role in every rivalry game.
Right.
You look at what happened in 2017. Brian Mularkey said Coach D'Antonio just said, put as many points up as you can because second half, we're just running the football nonstop. It's
Yeah.
sideways rain. You can't pass the football. And what did Michigan do? They tried to sling it.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. They thought they could. It didn't work.
Yeah, just like that punt off in 2015 didn't work.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I hate to bring this up because Alabama and Tennessee, but like in 2022, Alabama had a chance to win that.
Oh, no, I listen, that's a fair comparison and assessment. They had a fair chance. They missed the kick at the end that could have gave them the lead,
Or
and
even,
then they give up. That was listen. that kick was blocked a little bit, and it was a knuckleball field goal for Tennessee. Alabama coulda got their hands up on it to knock it down, or they could've
Done
I don't know what
something.
they could have done, but, like, they had opportunities in that game to win.
And it's like Michigan back in 2020,
Mhm.
you lost to a team that lost to Rutgers. Like,
Yeah.
your best cover corner is getting cooked like fried chicken from KFC.
Yeah.
Why is he still out there?
I don't know.
Granted, 2020, but still. The last time Michigan State played Oregon was in 2018 in the Red Box Bowl. Oregon has won the last 2 of 3 against Michigan State.
Yeah, so they kinda have your number a little bit, but that doesn't I mean, you gotta think well, that who does Oregon bring in at quarterback? Is it Dylan Gabriel transferring again?
Yeah,
Replacing Bo Nix?
yeah.
So and then they got maybe some receivers and stuff to replace too. I'll be honest, I didn't watch them this spring. I don't know how they looked, but that's still a team that's going to have to rebuild just a little bit this year, but they could still be good.
Even
Now,
though
are they, is Michigan State going to beat them? Probably not.
could it be close? Possibly.
Yeah.
Ohio State, they're rebuilding.
Yeah. Let
If
me
you
ask
could,
you this.
yeah,
How does Michigan State? I know that you could say they got to get the right coach and everything, but like what does it look like? Like how do they get back to that time where they were in 2014, 15, and 16 under D'Antonio, and, like, how do they get back there? Because Mel Tucker, I mean, I won't get into, like, the
and
allegations and what got him fired, but even him was, like, struggling a little bit, and now you got Jonathan Smith, who I honestly at least when it happened, my immediate reaction was, "This is a home run hire,"
yeah,
but he's gotta recruit in state, he's gotta beat out Michigan.
yep.
He's gotta up his game in the Big Ten. You're gonna have new teams. It's gonna take some time, but how does he get back to that opportunity? And eventually, I mean, can he be making a 12-team playoff, do you think? Or
I think
16 team? Because I think they're fixing to go to, like, 14 or 16 soon from what I've heard.
I think he can. It's not gonna be this year, but could we go 8-4, make a not a New Year's Six bowl, but make a meaningful bowl game? Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Mel Tucker had
I mean,
one.
because like, think about it. If he's gonna be that coach that constantly gets better, and he makes a 7-5 like I predict, or an 8-4 or something like you mentioned, could he not be making the CFP within the next 3 to 4 years, you think?
I think it's possible. I'm not
It's gonna
saying
be
it's 100%.
difficult, but I would agree.
It depends on your scheduling and who you get.
Yeah.
I think the one good thing is about the 4 West Coast schools is he's seen them in the Pac-12 from Oregon State, so he knows what they like to do.
Right.
That's a plus. He's offensive minded head coach. Plus, quarterback whisperer. Plus,
Mhm.
we need good O-line play. I'm not going to say we're going to be the best O-line, but we're going to be up in the middle Big Ten.
Yeah.
And you have
Just
to
to double
have
check.
defense. And Joe Rossi brings that from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And you
He's
look
got
at,
you guys 68th in recruiting with 2 commits in 2025 right now. But I know there's more where that came from. He's got 2
yeah,
3-stars. Um,
and the
I'm
one,
not gonna get into, like, who's visiting and all that, but
yeah,
he's got you guys right where he needs you,
and
I
that's
think.
similar to
Now
where D'Antonio would be around there.
right.
And he wasn't this,
But the thing is, D'Antonio knew how to run away with it. The
yeah,
question is, can Jonathan Smith run away with it now?
we'll have to wait and see. And I like both of his coaches have a couple things in common.
Yeah,
They both recruit around the 50 to 70-ish mark. They believe in player development,
right.
and they both know offensive line play is important.
Yeah. And you've only had 2 commits in this next year's class, and both were from this past week. Leo Hannon is a quarterback from Anaheim, California, and Charles White is from Orchard Lake, Michigan, at St. Mary's High School. Is a linebacker. Both are 3-stars. That's a good start. I
And
mean,
like
to get a quarterback out of California and then you go and get an in-state linebacker, that's you're 68th in recruiting, but still, it's like,
I would
what do you expect right now?
I wouldn't be surprised if that 3-star bumps up to a 4-star. He's an outside linebacker at about 200 215 pounds.
Mhm.
What do most high school outside backers struggle with? Speed and coverage, to where he has the speed and coverage, just needs to work on finishing, tackling, the simple things.
Yeah.
Their
Well, he's
defense,
got this next year to work on it.
he actually runs a similar
Yeah.
defense at his high school that Joe Rossi likes to run at Michigan State. So that's similar peas in a pot.
Mhm.
Do we have any questions so far, Ballard?
We got a few people watching, but I don't see any questions. I saw a couple people in the chat earlier. But
Oh,
yeah, if you guys have any questions for us, let us know in the comments. We'll try to keep it going till about 8:45 if we can, or until MSU fan runs out of stuff to talk about. But yeah, man, I'm excited for Jonathan Smith. I really think that I think he's the right hire. I think he's the right guy, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. I just it's mind-boggling to me the fact that Michigan State has gotten in this position where you don't have a lot at your fingertips. Now, you have potential, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done to get out of the hole that Mel Tucker got you in. Just calling it what it is. Is that a
yeah.
fair assessment?
Yeah, and I think the one good thing is we still have Courtney Hawkins, the wide receivers coach, who was the interim head coach while everything was going on below the dust with the Tucker,
Yeah.
the Jiggy. So I mean, he did what he could with the team. I feel like they just gave up because there's no Coach Tucker. I mean, the defense is flat out horrible.
Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens this year.
So
I'm pulling for you. I really am because I love the Big Ten. I love I love the Spartans. I love Michigan, Ohio. I really I just love college football, but I love a good story. And if Michigan State could get to a bowl game or hit 7 or 8 wins somehow this year, I think 8's a bit much, but if you hit 6 or 7 and get to a bowl with Jonathan Smith, and he's a good coach. He's a great recruiter too, and he's working on it. But if you could do that, I mean, is that not a good story this year in college football? I think it is.
it
That's
is.
what I go for. I go for the underdog stories.
So if there's two Michigan State games that you would want to watch on your TV, what would they be?
For this year?
Yeah,
Let me go back to the schedule and check. Like, I think obviously because they're rivals, like there's Michigan. If I had to go outside of the rivals though,
yeah.
honestly, let's say I want to watch Iowa and I want to watch probably that Boston College game intrigues me because I don't know about Boston College this year, and it's at Chestnut Hill.
I will say that
So I would say Boston College in Iowa.
and I think that Iowa's game is going to come down to who gets the 30 points first. Iowa just lost their backup
Yeah,
quarterback, Deacon Hill, to the portal.
yeah.
Who did Michigan State lose to the portal?
Um, did they lose really anybody?
We lost a bunch. All three of
Yeah.
our Dayton Hauser transferred out. I forget where he went. Cam transferred out. Jalen Berger transferred out.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of them that transferred. So I'm gonna throw Nate under the bus. Do you care, Ballard?
Okay, go
If,
ahead.
if we can get him on for a trash talk battle show and make a bet at the end of it, would you do it?
I don't know if we could get them on today, but we could definitely try to set that up where you
Yeah.
guys can battle it out on here.
Because it's
I'm
like
in.
me and my one cousin, we go to better schools.
Mhm.
Like, I'm surprised someone has not had a tire slash.
Yeah.
My grandmother goes, you two can fight out yourselves in the backyard. And I will say, I am not sure who's opted out for the EA football game. And I don't know what uniforms will be in it, but I would love to see our new uniforms in it.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Nick Saban retiring?
I know it was coming. I just think that it happened so fast after the season. I figured he would have waited a while, but I had a feeling that this would be the year that it would happen. I think we got a good hire in DeBoer. I'm not sure if he's going to be a guy that's going to win us championships, but we'll see. I think the talent's there. He just has to. Uh, he's just got to put a good plan together, and he'll get it taken care of. But I knew it was coming with Nick Saban. I'm excited to see him on game day this year, though.
Is it possible that Alabama might lose to Western Kentucky?
It's a possibility. I don't rule anything like that out when it comes to a new head coach because we don't know what Kalen DeBoer is gonna do.
Do
I hope it doesn't happen because that'd be embarrassing.
I mean, it's like when Michigan lost to who was that? To Appalachian State.
App State, yeah,
Those are games you got to win.
right. It's
Where did
like
they
when Tennessee you remember when they lost to Georgia State and BYU in the same season?
what year? Yeah, I think I remember that.
That was like 20 was it 18 or 19?
It had to be 18, I think.
Pre-COVID. Yeah.
One, Georgia State, you gotta win that game.
That was a two-win team too.
And I would love to see West Virginia upset Penn State.
I having Penn State fans in the family, I can't say that, but it would make a great week 1 upset.
Because you're looking at around, I think, is it possible with all Florida State's lost, if Georgia Tech somehow beats Florida State, they, I got Florida State starting out 0-2
Mhm.
because they play Boston College the next week, if I remember. That's our Labor Day game.
Yeah.
And I like how,
So that's for Florida State?
yeah,
Yeah.
and plus they have DJU at quarterback now, so
Yeah, that is true.
I just don't know if they'll be that ready. You're going to London to play Georgia Tech. Then you have to come back and play Boston College, who's seen a whole game already.
Right.
So yeah, that's my. I would love it to see. If I had to look at Michigan's schedule, I would not be surprised if Fresno State hung around.
Yeah.
Do we have the NFL
Well, what else
schedule?
you got for us tonight? What's that?
Do we have the NFL schedules out yet?
Oh, no, that won't be till next month, I think. Sometime in May or June, they'll release it.
Because I can't handle them playing at NFL stadiums. Is that just me?
Yeah.
I would love to see Michigan State, Michigan on a weekday night.
That'd be good. Anyway, man, hey, listen, I do have to get going, but
Yeah,
any final words before we get out of here? And it's always really, I mean, it's always good talking with you because you offer us good insight for
yeah.
Michigan State.
I really don't have nothing else.
Yeah, I appreciate it, buddy.
You're welcome.
Take care.
You too.
All right, that's MSU number one fan, Michigan State guy. Thanks so much for coming on, buddy. We love and appreciate you, and we'll be happy to talk to you again soon. Always good conversation. If you guys ever want to do a live stream here at Ballard Sports Media, email me ballardsports19@gmail.com. Let me know what you want to talk about, and we'll try to set something up. It gets busy with work and everything, but for the most part, we can always make it work and find some time for college football and other sports. I love you guys. We'll get out of here. God bless. And from a Bama fan, roll tide. Ballard Sports Media, checking out. Love you.